Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over a meaning lesson on the book, The Day You Begin. Hello, welcome back. Today's lesson is going to be a meaning lesson on the book, The Day You Begin by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrated by Rafael Lopez. This is what the book should look like. The only thing we're going to be needing for today's class is the book itself, so the copy, a piece of paper, pencil, and a bookmark, or anything that you can use, Post-its, anything you can use to save the pages that we're going to be focusing on. All right, so let's get started. I want us just to look at the front cover, right? The front cover, the cover page, what is most known as the cover page. So we see that the book is written by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrated by Rafael Lopez. What are some other things that we notice, right? What are some other things that we notice about this book, right? We notice the ruler on the door. So let's write that down. The ruler on the door. Some beautiful watercolors. So let's just put watercolors. A young girl. The young girl's hair. And her clothing. These are all things that stand out on the title page, on the cover page, right? So a quick little activity I want you to do also is for you to just write a quick sentence that says, what will the story be about? What do you believe the story will be about? Just looking at the picture, looking at the title, The Day You Begin, right? What do we think of when we think of the day you begin? So write a quick little sentence on that. All right, pause the video and then get back. All right, now that you guys are back, I want you guys to open up the book. I want us to look at page 6. And page 6 should look something like this. So page 6 should look something like that. Let's all get to it. I want us just to, before we get started, I want us to have a post-it on each or a bookmark on each page that we're going to be focusing on. Page 6, which should look something like this. Page 14, which should look something like this. 20, 23, 27. So pause the video, go back, and just put bookmarks or whatever you have available just to separate all these pages that we're going to be focusing on. So let's start off with page 6. I have it right in front of me. I want you to have it right in front of you too. I'm going to read it. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. So I want us to think, what do we see? What is the problem that we are seeing in this page, right? What is the problem? So let's write problem. What is the problem we are seeing? Let's brainstorm, let's think. That no one understands. No one understands, right? No one understands what though? What specifically are we talking about that no one understands? His language, right? His language. And who is this? Who is this? He's a student, right? He is a student named Rigoberto from Venezuela. How interesting, right? So that is what's happening. The problem is no one understands his language. And no one understands the way he curls his mouth. The words curl from his mouth. We are all fine with understanding this. We need to accept all of this, right? But let's continue. Let's see if there's more students that struggle like him, maybe in a different way or in a similar way. So let's continue to page 14. Right? Which should look something like this, right? So open up to that page. What are we seeing now? What are we seeing in this page? We're seeing some students that look like, what's going on over there? What's going on over here? Are you seeing her, right? That's what we're seeing. We also see this young girl. She seems isolated from everyone else. We see that she has like her lunch bag. She has like 2 lunch cup Tupperwares, right? And she's like looking at her those classmates like, are they judging me? Are they looking at me? Right? We see how this young girl seems to look upset that the students are looking at her. And so let's read it. There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. So many of us, our parents just cook different types of foods from wherever we come from, and we all personally enjoy that, right? So I want you to write in a quick little sentence, what is one food you love from your home? So just write it, just answer that, right? And let's continue. So just pause it and then come back. So what is the problem we see here? Analyze the problem that we see here. We see that this young Korean girl feels weird, feels uncomfortable because of the ways her classmates are looking at her. Right? And that's because of her food. Because she's eating something different. She's eating something that her mother packed for her that she loves, right? They're looking at her and they're looking at her strange, right? That's 2 words that we see here, strange and unfamiliar. 2 very words that describe what the students can be possibly thinking, the group of students. The kids are just smiling, right? Very awkwardly, in a way, awkwardly smiling. All right, let's continue. Let's see maybe if we see maybe more students, right? Let's go to page 20 now. I'm not liking it here. We see a kid that's isolated himself. He's isolated himself from his classmates. He's holding a book. He's holding a book. So he's a little different than his classmates, right? That's what we're seeing in the illustration. Let's read a little bit. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. That's what this page is demonstrating. He's standing all the way out there. It seems so far away, but yet so close. So we see that these kids in this page on our left are just having fun, smiling, playing with the jump rope, playing with the ball, holding hands, and just having fun, right? We see some vibrant colors, beautiful colors. The young boy, though, feels as if he's not welcome to play because he's different. He likes to read. He enjoys reading. And because he enjoys reading, his classmates believe that he's not able to play with them. But that's not true. He of course can play with them. But maybe, let's continue. continue to page 23 now. We're seeing this young girl who we had seen at the beginning as well. Angelina, no, that's her name. Let's see what she's got to say. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer and my little sister with my little sister. You tell the class your voice, stranger than it was a minute ago. Reading books and telling stories, and even though we were right on the block, it was like we got to go everywhere. So what was the problem Angelina had? She was afraid to talk about her summer because she had compared it to her other classmates, right? But we see that this beautiful girl, Angelina, is just, she's so strong. She's brave. She got to share her story. And once she shared her story, she felt like everything changed. And the same thing goes for the other students we've seen so far, right? How many students have we seen so far? We've seen the young girl. Let's write it over here. I want to write it over here because we're not. The young girl, right? The young girl with the food, with the lunch. So let's be a little bit specific, right? With the lunch. The boy with the book. So we can be a little bit more specific to what page we're referring to. Since there's no name, Rigoberto, right? The student from Venezuela. And then Angelina, right? She's also very much part of it. So we see these four characters that have played significant roles in the story. And we see how all of them were afraid. All of them were afraid for certain reasons. We see that she was afraid to share her lunch because it was different than others. The book, because he was different than his students. He wanted to read instead of play. Rigoberto, because his language was a little bit different. The way he spoke was different. Angelina, because she didn't do what other students did during the summer. All these are stories that we can all share out. And that doesn't mean anyone will judge you. That just means more people will stand up and say, oh, I did something similar just like you. You know, like I can compare sometimes to Angelina and Rigoberto. I sometimes, when I speak Spanish, I find it a little weird. Or when I go out, I don't go out as much as my friends that go travel the world. I sometimes just go maybe a few hours away, but never a long travel right ahead of me. So let's just keep that in mind, let's be brave and share out our stories to our class and just open up a different world that can sometimes relate to ours. So let's finish with just reading this last page. Page 27. This is the day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. So let's just be brave and just start telling our stories and find everything we do fun and beautiful, because it is. So let's just close it off with that. And The Day You Begin is just a very beautiful book, and just let's accept it all and just know more about who our classmates are and just accept them as they are, right? So that's it for today's meaning lesson, and I'm wishing you the best. Have a great rest of your day.